Be a race car driver, it doesn't really take any special kind of person. If you got enough money to build up a car, I mean, it starts at 12. My family first got into dirt track racing with my grandpa. He was the first one in my family to ever even lay hand on a dirt car, and he didn't have the money to really go flat out, so he just started with some junky old car and worked his way up.
So I've been around dirt track racing for a while. I think about 3 months old, my grandpa ran the dirt track that was in Killeen, Texas Thunder Speedway, and it was a fun thing to be around as a kid. We used to just take little fake race cars and run it around in the dirt in stands, and then I turned 13 and my grandpa was like, "Hey, got another car sitting out here if you want to put it together." So we worked on it and put a motor in it and stuff and got it up and running and just took off from there.
So what inspired me to become a race car driver is actually my uncle and my dad. Growing up, my dad's always been that person that I've always looked up to in football, racing, how he structured our family. Everything has just always been on a higher platform. And along with my uncle, he almost won a national championship, and he's always been the biggest star of racing in my eyes. I mean, that's where I got my number from. I combined my dad's 74 and my uncle's 7 and came to 77. Being a race car driver really just takes discipline and the will to try and get better. It's really like any other sport. If you have the will to learn and you're coachable, then you can be a race car driver.
So the day of a race, usually we have the car prepped, because usually race car prep starts at the very beginning of the week. Usually Saturday or Sunday, we get the car out, wash it, look over it, see if any body panels are bent, any sort of damage that may have been done, whether that be to tires, sheet metal, whatever it may be. And then throughout the week, if there's anything wrong with it, we'll fix it. If we need to adjust the setup, stuff like that. And then Thursday, usually we'll go over everything, grease the car, make sure it's in perfect condition, check all the nuts, bolts, make sure everything's good to go on there. And then Friday, usually we've already got the car loaded up, so I'm just trying to get in that headspace. Usually about 4:30, 5 o'clock, we'll load up all of our tools and stuff and head up to the racetrack. Get there about 6. Usually gates open at 6, and then we're get the race car unloaded, and then I'll get my racing suit on and just kind of listen to music and get in the right headspace so that I can do my best out there. I think in order to be a dirt track driver, it takes a certain caliber of person. You have to have a want to do it. First of all, you have to have a drive to do it, because anybody can jump in the dirt track car and go out there and race. You get a license, you get a car, anybody can go out there and race. But in order to be successful in it, it definitely takes a certain caliber of person. Sometimes, I mean, we always say, it doesn't matter how nice of a car you have, it's only one race away from being put into the wall in total. It's definitely, it's a very rewarding sport, but sometimes it can be a very daunting one as well. It's very hard to come back from a big wreck or something breaking or somebody taking you out when you're in the weeds or something. It's really rough, but you gotta put your nose to the grindstone and keep going at it.
For me personally, I prepare mentally by not drinking any caffeine or eating anything too sugary, making sure I put only clean stuff in my body so that nothing is making me jittery or out of focus. When it gets closer to race time, I will sometimes take caffeine depending on if I'm tired or if I just can't get that focus. But when you're in the race car, you have to be locked in. You cannot be thinking about anything else, because in the split second, someone could crash in front of you and your racing season's over. So me personally, I've been blessed to never have been in any wrecks, but I know lots of people that have, especially in the junior limiteds. All those drivers that are inexperienced, it just takes one slight hit to cause a roll. And especially my brother's been in some pretty bad accidents. One completely totaling his front end of his car, and another one after he'd already graduated from the class where he got smoked in his modified.
Probably one of the worst wrecks I had. The first lap we started off, if I had to guess, probably about 30, 35 miles an hour or so. And the lights start flashing and they're like, all right, you're ready to go. At that point, the leader starts the race. So as you're coming through turn 3 and 4, as soon as you pass the cone in between 3 and 4, you're ready to start. Whenever you're ready, you take off. So we took off and we got one lap around the track. And then right as soon as we were coming out of the flag stand, we were neck and neck, just battling right there. And I got the good run coming off of the bottom because the top really wasn't developed yet. And so as I got past him, I just didn't see him, man. I went up there and got torn up. Funny story for y'all. That night, Hooters was sponsoring the track, and so they were looking for somebody with an orange racing suit, and my racing suit's orange, so they came and found me. And yeah, sophomore year, friggin' 15 years old, and I've got a picture somewhere I'll have to find me with 2 of the Hooter girls in my racing suit.